everyone, welcome back to Culture Speaks Us channel. This is Stuffed Crust. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Hopefully sleeping in as sure as I will be, especially since I don't have to go door to door anymore. So last time I was telling you guys about my experience in the differences between the English and the Spanish congregation, and yes, they were very different. There's one thing that I probably didn't mention last time, but I know it portrays to both the English and the Spanish, and it's gossip. In the English, I felt like the gossiping was not as severe. So a lot of the sisters and brothers, they really believed in, not to put your nose in other people's businesses. I mean, to the point where one time we wondered if we can call a sister to see if she was okay. And the other sister we asked for, hey, can you give us her number? She was like, yeah, I'm not going to give you her number because that's not my business. That's not my place to give you her number, which I understand. I totally understand right now. I believe in the Spanish, the gossiping was really, really toxic. And it all stemmed at the elders' wives. Now, the elders told their wives everything, which they always did. That means they would let the pioneers know, and if the pioneers knew, it was like fire in a forest. Everyone in the whole congregation, and in congregations around the area, already knew. So, that was something. I would have to say one of the things that disturbed me, especially as of late, when I really started thinking about it and seeing it from an outside perspective, was the age gap in marriages. I mean, I'm talking about 30-year-olds marrying 18-year-old girls fresh out of high school. And in my congregation that I went to when I was a teenager, there was actually a girl my age. And we both had just graduated high school. And she wasn't even 18. She was 17 years old when this late 20-year-old man, who was a ministerial servant in our congregation, actually married her the day of her high school graduation. And I did not like it then, but I really don't like it now because I cannot even look at someone, as somebody already now, me, myself, in my 30s, I cannot even look at somebody below 25 and feel remotely attracted to them. So, that is one thing I like to talk about. Even recently, I've seen ministerial servants that have been taking interest in girls, basically, that they saw grow up in their congregation. And that is so disgusting. Let's see. Now, there was one other topic I really wanted to talk about, and that was misogyny. Misogyny in the Spanish is really, really bad. Let's say women on their side of the party and men in their side of the party. So men are eating at the table, women are serving the food, and sisters are cooking, and the brothers are drinking their beer, enjoying their meal, right? And I thought this picture was really interesting. Look at this. This sister, has a quote-unquote privilege of being a part of the convention. But you know what? She still, even though she's an expert in American Sign Language, has to wear a head covering. And that is so stupid. Look at that. That is insulting, in my opinion. Alright. And I would say my own personal experience, my mother was very active in our lives. She's always tried to make sure that we studied the Bible. And so at times, she would take the lead, right? And if my dad came home late, she said, let's go ahead and read a Bible text, or let's go ahead and study tomorrow's meeting, whatever. If my father found out, he'd be so mad. For what, though? she was the only one taking the lead. He would never take the lead. He would never studied with us. And I guess that's on him because he wasn't a person who studied anyway. But, I mean, that's misogynistic in the aspect, like, she could easily read from the Bible stories for us. There was nothing to it. And another experience was my mother went up to him one time and she was concerned about something in the congregation. And he went ahead to the elders, she didn't go to the elders. She went to him to go to the elders. And when he did, quote unquote, this is for real what the elders said. I had to write it. Tell your woman to hold her tongue. Tell me how in any place, in any life, in any point in your life, would that phrase be appropriate? But definitely in a loving organization. Well, okay, I'm gonna go beside that because that gets me heated. Cultural differences. Believe it or not, when you void everyone of their personality, their culture takes over. And even though they tell us to, we're one with God's organization, we don't have any nationality, to just leave that all behind. In the Spanish congregation, your nationality is almost the only thing you have left. And so, a lot of times, these cultural differences just clash, and it can cause a rift among the congregation. And that is something that I had to deal with a lot. I was excluded for being different, and people were just so backwards. They see your culture, they go, what is that? What are you drinking? That looks nasty. Why would you do that? And you can say that's kind of petty. It is. But these are adults a lot of times. Or when you would eat out, like it happened to me a few times. We would eat out, let's say Chinese food, and they would start making fun of the workers because the way they looked, or the food, and belittling them. I could not wrap my brain around looking at someone and seeing their race and laughing. Or the treatment of homosexuals in our community. Like, how could you laugh at someone just because they're different? Or make fun of them, using mannerism in front of them. It was, to me, very bigoted. And I hate using that word. But I don't know. I would have to say these were one of the few instances when I would see people do things like that. Just treat them terribly. Just looking back at that Sophia and Caleb video with the two moms, and it's not accepted. People are just not accepting when it comes to, in general, Jehovah's Witnesses. But in the Spanish, I don't know, it was a whole nother level. And maybe I was just in toxic congregations. Maybe you had a wonderful experience. But for me, it was never great. Well, I think that is everything I want to talk about now. Actually, a lot longer video than last time. But, I just want to let you guys know that I am so grateful to be a part of Holder's Pizza channel and to talk to you guys, open up a little bit, just kind of let all these feelings I've had bottled up for so many years. And anyway, I hope you guys like this video, subscribe to Holder's Pizza channel, and drop a comment. Tell me what you would like me to talk about next time. Maybe I could talk about an experience that I've been through, or maybe I can talk about, preaching and how it could be super awkward. Okay, anyway, guys, you have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.